Hi everybody, it's Dr. Fig here, Fig Natural Health, and today we're talking about Baryta Carbonica. Mental and physical weakness, both ends of life. Don't grow. Almost imbecile children, feeble and tottering. Childish and thoughtless old age. Loss of memory. Tonsils inflame, swell and suppurate repeatedly on every cold exposure. Chronic hypertrophy afterwards of the tonsils. Glands swell, infiltrate, hypertrophy. Neck, parotids, submaxillary, groin, lymphatics, in the abdomen, hypertrophy, sometimes suppuration. Offensive foot sweats. Toes and soles get sore. Throat affections after checked foot sweat. Great sensitiveness to cold. This is one of the leading so-called anti-scrofulous remedies. Please refer to what I said on this subject, scrofula, while writing on sulfur. And scrofula is swelling of the glands of the neck associated with tuberculosis, just by the way. This is also one of the remedies which has one of its leading indications, like calc-carb and the constitution of the patient. Complaints of dwarfish children, mind and body weak, don't grow, inclined to glandular swellings. The defective growth is both mental and physical. The weakness of the mind may amount almost to idiocy or imbecility. Then again, it is equally adapted to old age, with mental and physical weakness, feeble and tottering, childishness and thoughtless behavior. It is especially adapted to apoplexy of old people, or a tendency thereto. That's like a tendency to stroke. For loss of memory in such subjects, it stands equal to anacardium. Now we see that if all this is true, Baryta carb becomes a valuable remedy at both ends of life. Marasmus, infantile or senile, comes equally within its range. In the marasmus of children, we may have to choose from among other remedies such as silicea, abrotanum, natrum muriaticum, sulfur, calcarea, and iodine. Under all these remedies, we may find emaciation of the rest of the body, while the abdomen is greatly enlarged. Again, under every one of them, the child may have a voracious appetite, eat enough, but grow poor all the time. It is defective assimilation. There are some strong points of resemblance between Baryta carb and silicea, namely, offensive sweat on the feet. The head is disproportionately large for the body. Both suffer from damp changes in the weather, and both are sensitive to cold about the head. But silicea has the important diagnostic difference: profuse sweat on the head equal to that of calc-carb, which Baryta does not have. And there is not that weakness of mind in silicea that is found in bryonia or Baryta. On the contrary, the child is self-willed and contrary. The resemblances to other remedies, other than those we have mentioned, are so many that we will not undertake to compare them here, but will proceed to notice some of the other strong points of Baryta. Besides the strong action of Baryta upon the glandular system, generally, it seems to have a peculiarly strong affinity for the throat, especially the tonsils, which become greatly inflamed, swollen, and suppurate as a consequence of the least exposure to cold. Thus it becomes one of our most valuable therapeutic agents in old quinsy subjects. Quinsy is peritonsillar abscess. Alone, it is often sufficient to abort an attack of quinsy, and with an occasional dose at long intervals with a high potency to overcome the tendency thereto, like Surinam. But, like lachesis, lycopodium, phytolacca, and other remedies, it must be chosen according to all the indications. Baryta is really fully as useful to change the constitutional tendencies to quinsy as it is in the acute attack. You will find, occasionally, a case of chronic cough in children with enlarged tonsils, reported in the journals as cured by this remedy. The cure of the cough depends evidently upon the power of the remedy over the condition which produced the enlarged tonsils, for aside from this, I have never found it to be a great cough remedy. In tonsillitis, acute or chronic, which seems to have come as the result of a suppressed foot sweat, we would immediately think of Baryta. Notwithstanding, Cilicia has more troubles arising from such suppression than any other remedy, but Cilicia has not nearly the same affinity for the throat that Baryta has. So to say that Cilicia has aggravations after suppressed foot sweat, as does Baryta, but Baryta is specifically has an affinity for the throat, whereas Cilicia that can cause any amounts of illness. Here we will close Baryta, for while it is a remedy of the greatest value, its range is not a wide one. Some of the remedies of this kind make up for the lack of range by a positiveness within their range, and this is one of them. Thank you all very much for listening, and you have a wonderful day.